but I'm gonna act like I don't know what you're doing and question you until you admit what you're doing.
This is a tip I give my clients on how to handle passive aggressive people at work. I lived being on the other end of this recently at a doctor's appointment while I was freezing my eggs. Egg freezing story time. So, my partner's English. We've been in the UK several months. We're heading back to the US next month. I decided I wanted to freeze my eggs here before we go back just so we have options. There's so much about that process that we don't talk about, like we don't talk about most things with women's health. But one of them is that I did not realize they were going to measure the size of my follicular tubes. I don't know, I'm not that kind of doctor. Every time I go in, because they want to know not just how many eggs am I releasing, but are they maturing and the path growing, right? And my sarcastic raised with 5 brothers ass as the man going through with the ultrasound, counting the size of my follicles over and over again. I was like, wow, I feel like a dude with all the measuring. And he was like, what do you mean? And I was like, is he really gonna make me explain this? But my direct communication ass was like, well, like dick measuring. And I thought he was pulling what I advise my clients to do with I made him uncomfortable, which was totally fair, and to make me say it out loud. But I stood on it and was like, yep, that is what I'm talking about. And he laughed really hard. So he actually didn't just get it. So it was just not a good joke. For a split second there, I was like, oh shit, he's going to make me say this out loud. Unfortunately, I had clocked him appropriately. I mean, for fuck's sake, he had like the 3rd time a scope up inside of me. So, we were cool. Which is why I felt like making a self-deprecating man joke at the time, and he got it. But no, he wasn't actually putting me on the spot. He was just English. He was probably making sure I said it before he said it because of the professional dynamics of that he didn't want to get busted, right? The point being, this really does work. I work with my clients on this all the time. If you pop off and try to tell someone the business, it's going to come back on you. I'm not saying it's fair that it is. I'm not saying sometimes it ain't worth it. But in most cases, it's not. And so it is better to play dumb about what they said about that thing, especially if it's also sexual harassment. Make them say it. That is the only way to be able to hold them accountable. That is the only thing HR can work with. This is such a common issue that I actually talk about it in my coaching program, and I have worksheets ready to go, tools to use. So if this resonates, go to my website, drkolschmidt.com. It's linked in my bio, and take my 2-minute quiz to find out what resources I have for you, what is best recommended, and what is most cost effective. And just know that when I work with you, I will ask you, one of the first questions is, what do you want out of this? I just asked a client this last night. She's being very subtly harassed and a lot of microaggression. She's a Black woman. And first thing, what do you want? She told me what she wanted, which was advancement and a senior leadership position. And you want that more than you want to drag them to hell in a particular moment. She was like, yes. And I was like, okay, because both are valid. So this is how we're going to approach it. Because that matters. You have to think of what you actually want.